Okay, so sorry about last episode. That was a bit of a mistake. So, I guess before starting the level, I'll just say some things I wanted to say that were in the last episode, because uh, it's going to be too hard to concentrate, especially since it's a new level on the hard path. So all I was really going to say is I have a link to a video in the description. Basically, it's about the history of Star Fox's production. Well, really, it's about the chip that they used. Anyway, the only reason I'm linking that is because I was talking earlier about how this game is kind of like Command. The power-up is the same, the final power-up you get that makes it the light balls compared to, just the double lasers, and it's like that in Command as well. And the health upgrade is too, where it's that ring, but it's like the ring that has, it's just the triangles in a circular fashion, not just a, regular silver ring. Take control of huge creatures who live on Fortuna. Take care, Fox. Okay, so that video mentions the fact that apparently, the guys who worked on Star Fox originally, the two teenagers, they didn't work on the series at all, and that started automatically until Command. So that's probably why some of the designs are maybe similar. And that was not very nice of that to start off with. That thing on the ground when we're starting on the ground too. They say Andross has taken over the animals here, but it seems like there's just animals and they happen to be on our way, but we're fighting the regular ship enemies. Just how it seems, though. I don't know. Why are those things just... Oh, maybe they're growing. The other shame is probably not going to be able to do Command because I don't think I'll ever get recording software or hardware for that matter that, does like the mobile systems. Like, because you need a specific one for those. You can't just use the same. Maybe I shouldn't be shooting those things. It doesn't seem like Falco's the only one here. Shield. I don't think Slippy died. I guess I could be wrong. Oh yeah, so, the other thing about the fact that I was watching some videos, well, I found that out when I was kind of doing some research on what I was saying. I thought maybe this game has some slowdown. Because it's emulated from the original SNES. Because this is the SNES Classic. Okay, there's Slippy. And the enemy should be right behind. At least he's not worse for wear. He's pretty good, actually. Until I shot him. Oh, that's my shield. Wow, this has a lot of biomes. Yeah, those aren't just appearing on screen, those are growing. This is an odd way to display shields, though. Newsflash. Let's see, what was I saying? Oh, well, apparently this game actually runs faster than the original SNES, or at least it's faster when there aren't a lot of objects on screen. When there are a lot of objects on screen, it's slower, and then that speed, maybe, if my understanding is correct, relates to how smooth it is, because if it's running faster, that means it's less choppy. Uh-oh. I have no idea how to fight this thing. I mean, obviously you shoot the glowing things, but so far that hasn't been working. Or at least I haven't been able to... Uh-oh. Hit it. Oh, there it goes. Or not. Oh, now it's dying. Uh-oh. Is that tail what's leaving behind these the eggs? That doesn't exactly make a lot of sense. Well, obviously, this is at least one creature Andross has obviously taken control of. You know, until I blew it up. They don't exactly look like creatures, though. They look like the same enemies as before, all polygonal. I mean, I guess you just... this is obviously extremely groundbreaking at the time, the graphics for this game. But, well... it doesn't exactly, express necessarily what I think they're trying to go for very well by today's standards. Let's put it like that. Oh. Okay. So I had the notepad open on the computer, and it was in front of the recording software. So basically that means that the recording software was blacked out, so it looked like the record button was not on. And that's the same thing that happened in the last recording, because I had the notes out that I want for when I was talking about the history. Uh-oh, Scepter Z. Well, about that. Wow, I survived. Well, that didn't work. Admittedly, it is a little easier to aim in this mode, in a certain way. Some ways it isn't, but, you know, you do have a more forward view of things, which has some advantages, also some not advantages. Guess I'll leave those power-ups alone. Oh, what? I guess that could have been worse. I'd like to have gotten that power-up. That definitely makes this game easier. Uh-oh. But I guess it's not. It's better to survive. Go for defense than offense, necessarily. It's definitely a little hard to tell your allies apart from your enemies, though. I will say. But yeah, it's slowing down a lot here, so that kind of, at least as far as I can tell, so that kind of goes with what I was saying about how this game, oh thank goodness, this version of the game, that is to say, does that, where it's smooth enough under normal circumstances. Oh, what? I thought I barrel rolled through that. This kind of goes along with what I was saying as well. This view is kind of cool. Oh, wow. Pretty hard to see objects to your sides, though, in that view. What? Now this is exactly where... Oh, I freaking hate how... It keeps you from moving when you're switching views, and then you can't see anything when you're in that view. I mean, you can see ahead really well, but you can't see to the sides.
Let's go. Good luck.
I wonder what hint he had. Yeah, 'cause I was trying to move there, but I couldn't. Stupid. God damn it. Can you even get that there? Ugh. It's definitely harder to do barrel rolls because you lose the frames. I think that's what happens. That's what people talk about in like online games, and particularly it's important in fighting games. But you can't put the input in. Oh. I don't know how exactly you're meant to navigate through that. It's too fast. Really? Okay, now what's going on? I sense something ominous, mostly because of the music. It's a definite tone shift. Uh-oh. Oh, right, what those? That better be a save point right before this area. And of course it's going to start off in this mode, when you can't see anything in this area. At least the seals are actually okay. I don't see any bogey. Oh, so that's what's making that sound. Maybe it would be easier to see. Oh wow, that's... I don't know what you're supposed to do with... Oh, maybe you should just slow down. Fuck! God, this game.
Good luck.
Yo. I do have that save state. Oh, I have a save state for the beginning of this level, where you don't have to go through all the cutscenes here. Of course, that would override whatever... Well, it doesn't keep the score unless you get through the game, does it? Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Score is pretty important in this version of the game because... What the hell? I don't understand why you don't take much wing damage from running into objects in the first levels, but it seems like you take more later. I mean, it's the same thing. You're going at the same speeds. Oh... Why you gotta descend like you're an enemy? Well, maybe this will be better because we have Peppy with us again. Yeah, so much for that. That's one thing that, I don't know, this... Like, why do you have robots that are roaming around, and then you shoot them? Like, they're either busy constructing something, or they're not because they're not enemies, or they're enemies. But what are they doing as enemies? Just carrying stuff around? Well, what was that? Oh, gotta fly low. Did I just miss that power-up? I thought I flew right into it. Oh, that didn't work. That only worked because, why did it work? At least I have more health now. This boss isn't too bad. Let me see if I can figure it out a little better. Oh, maybe those are like the core reactors, and then they get the shields. Yeah, that went a lot better. No sweaty sockses. Phew. It's gonna be pretty important to get those bonus credits. In fact, since you get, you know, a credit is basically 2 lives, it might be worth risking your life to get the credits.
Good luck.
Like right now, I could have ran into one of those enemies. I want to get that score up. No, maybe it's the time not for risking. Why isn't he dying? I know I shot him. Oh, what? Twin blasters. What? That meteor looked pretty convincing, though, getting all close to it. Until the camera turned and then it would look really 2D. Pretty much gotta go for those satellites immediately, it seems. I wonder if those asteroids count for your score. up to the health. Stop getting in the way then. Damn it. These things really like to... I guess what it really is the camera, well, it's hard to describe exactly. Oh no. Ugh. Ah. I tried going for that aim directly for them to try to get the higher score, like I was talking about earlier, because that, you know, will get you more lives in the end, but I don't know, I'm not feeling as, what's the word for it? Integrity? That's not the right word. I don't want to say enthusiastic. That's not really what I'm going for. What? See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I was nowhere near that. Alright. This guy isn't so bad once you figure him out. Figuring him out is the issue. Alright. Oh no! That's right, go over there. Ugh. Oh, fiddlesticks. Yeah, pretty much it just is a wall. It doesn't really matter where they're spinning from. Okay, now we just gotta dodge that. At least, I think that might kill you. I mean, technically it would make sense. Obviously, I'm not so concerned with commentary right now, because I'm just trying to get back to where it was. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. I'd say I should be using bombs more to kill the enemies, to keep them from killing me. Well, the last time I died, I guess an enemy did kill me. I was actually being too aggressive. I don't know what you're supposed to do to get a higher score on that. I got higher than last time, sure, but... I mean, I was killing, like, everything. Maybe the meteorites don't help. Anyway, I guess we'll go on to Fortuna, the second attempt, in the next one, because we're at about half an hour. So, see